Hey, how you doing today? Just chillaxing here in the Bahamas. Wanted to continue with what we've talked about the last couple weeks regarding my new book, The Coming Revolution. You can find it at www.go1040.com. In the introduction, I mentioned that we need a significant change in how we're doing missions. I believe that status quo missions won't finish the job. Last week I mentioned about one of the problems we have, and that is mistaken priorities. You know, we put so much emphasis on the economic stimulus, we forget about a stimulus to complete the Great Commission. Well, today I want to tell you about the next chapter in my book about why we need to make a change, and that is misguided theology. Actually, I'm thinking about the theology called Universalism, which is very common in the church today. In fact, a friend of mine heard a few years ago on the radio that 80% of people in the church believe in at least some aspect of universalism. And in August of 2005 on the Today Show, it actually said 85% of people in America believe in some aspect of universalism. So, what does it really mean? It means this: if someone has never heard the gospel, when they die, they go to heaven. If that's true, then people who are working in missions are fools. Universalism is a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face of those who are sacrificing so much to serve in missions. I talked to a missions leader one time who told me he believes that if someone hasn't heard the gospel when they die, they'll go to heaven. I said, well, that's interesting. Let's say there's a village of 1,000 people in India and they've never heard the gospel. So if we send a team in, we share the gospel, and we see a great harvest of 50%, 500 people coming to Jesus. What happens to the other 500? Based on the theology of universalism, for those at least who believe in those that haven't heard the gospel go to heaven, and those who have heard but reject it go to hell, that means we just condemned 500 people to hell because we went in to share the gospel. I think that's foolish. It's ridiculous. It's a problem. It's common in the church. It steals from the motivation for missions. It also steals from the glory that's intended for Jesus alone. The Bible says that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. That also means everyone who does not call on the name of the Lord will not be saved. So universalism is a serious mistake. It steals from the motivation for missions. It steals from the glory intended for Jesus. And it steals from the simplicity of the gospel message. So my challenge this week is, misguided theology is a big problem. Don't think that way. It's stupid theology. Instead, all the glory goes to Jesus. You can read a lot more about this in my book, The Coming Revolution. You can get your copy at www.go1040.com. That's GOTO1040.com. I hope you get your copy today. Thanks.